and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first webinar of the last week from our Rutronik Connects webinar series. This week is full of interesting webinars, all about Bluetooth Low Energy technology and the corresponding products. My name is Castellated, and I'm Corporate Product Manager at Rutronik in the Wireless Department. And with me today is Mr. Tomislav Tipura. He's Product Manager for IoT at Panasonic. And today he will tell us more information about the latest advancements of Bluetooth Low Energy and the newest Panasonic module based on Nordic's nRF54L15 SoC. Before we start, I have some general information first about this webinar. So the duration will be around about 1 hour with a Q&A session at the end. So if you have any questions, please use the chat window on the right sidebar. We will go through the questions after the presentation. Also, if you have any questions later on, you can always contact me or my colleagues. I show you the contact details later. The presentation slides will be forwarded to you, and also the recording of this webinar will be available online later. Okay, that is all from my side. Tomislav, I would hand over to you. One moment.
Thank you very much, Kerstin. Thank you to the whole Rutronik team and also to you, dear viewer, for your participation for today's webinar. Also a warm welcome from my side. The topic of today's webinar is next generation Bluetooth 6 PAN B511-1 module based on Nordic's nRF54L15 SoC. The agenda for today's webinar is we'll look into the new features of Bluetooth 6. We'll move on then with the introduction of Nordic's newest chipset nRF54L15, and then we'll move on with the PAN B511-1C, which is powered by the before mentioned nRF54 SoC. Then we'll have a look at the evaluation and development tools, which we are providing to you in order to achieve your project goals. And then we'll have a look into our rapid launch meta service PAN Max. And we'll close then the session with our additional services beyond hardware. And of course, then afterwards, we'll go into your questions and our answers. Now, when we're looking at Bluetooth 6, what's new in Bluetooth 6? If you have seen the press release 2 months ago, the Bluetooth core specification version 6 was released officially and introduced new exciting features. Predominantly, mostly Bluetooth channel sounding. This feature enables secure fine ranging between 2 Bluetooth devices, which providing a feature that is intended to fulfill stringent accuracy and security requirements. By introducing a new type of extended advertising, the decision-based advertising filtering, short DBAF, aims to improve the efficiency of scanning devices when dealing with extended advertising. Very important and essential feature of Bluetooth 6 is monitoring advertisers, which tackles the challenge in device discovery and in connection setup within the Bluetooth Low Energy environments. By eliminating the need for high-duty cycle scanning for out-of-range devices, it significantly lowers power consumption for Bluetooth devices. The improvement in itself boosts the efficiency of Bluetooth LE devices in general, especially in situations where many devices frequently enter and exit the Bluetooth coverage area. The visual enhancement, so in Bluetooth core specification 6, brings advancements to the so-called isochronous adaptation layer. This is, in short, visual. This enhancement is particularly beneficial for applications where, let's say, where low latency data transmission is needed, especially for high quality audio streaming and time sensitive control systems. Next feature is the link layer extended feature set. This functionality improves the ability to share details about supported link layer features for optimal use of available capabilities between Bluetooth devices. So it improves the interoperability of Bluetooth devices, which can now analyze each other's capabilities and accommodate also the growing numbers of future Bluetooth Low Energy features. And last but not least, the frame space update. This feature introduces negotiable frame spacing. In contrast to the fixed value in the legacy Bluetooth specification, the frame space update feature leads to improved throughput with shorter interframe spaces and in general in better coexistence with other wireless technology. Now, when we look at all of the features now, this, most of the features are leveraging or enhancing existing use cases and also the enhancing the legacy Bluetooth features and all, but today's highlight is definitely Bluetooth channel sounding, which opens up completely new applications which were not possible with legacy Bluetooth technology. And it even rivals existing wireless technologies for ranging applications. So it's definitely is good to look deeper into it. So it's a completely new one-to-one technology which provides true distance awareness between two BLE devices. Bluetooth channel sounding includes two separate methods for measuring the distance. One is the round-trip timing RTT, and the other one is the phase-based ranging, in short, PBR. So RTT, involves measuring the time it takes for a signal to travel from the initiator to the reflector and back. And first, the initiator sends or let's say records a timestamp known as the time of departure when it sounds our packet, and the reflector then receives this packet and after pre-agreed delay sends it back. So upon receiving the returned packet, the initiator using the time difference or records a second timestamp and called the so-called time of arrival. So in the distance between the two devices is calculated by using the time difference between these two timestamps, while also considering the pre-agreed delay at the reflector. The phase-based ranging, the PBR, uses the relationship between phase, frequency, and wavelength. So first, the initiator sends a signal at a specific frequency. In this case, it's the F1 to the reflector, and the reflector then returns the signal. And then the initiator measures the phase of the received signal. So in this case, it's P1. And this process is then repeated with a different frequency, F2, resulting in a new phase measurement, P2. And then the distance between the devices is then calculated using a formula that includes the difference in frequencies F1 to F2 and the difference in phase measurement P1 and P2, and also the speed of light. So these methods can be used on their own or together to provide high precise distance measurement. And this distance measurement can reliably measure a distance up to 150 meters. Channel sounding itself doesn't interfere on the low energy primary advertising channels, and even the channel filtering promotes the use of channels with the best RF conditions. And on top of that, it enhances also the security against any side channel attacks or physical layers. those methods will open up, as mentioned, new key application areas. For example, secure presence verification, where one user or wearer of a tag is approaching either a car or an e-bike and then can verify itself by using the channel sounding feature and then unlocking the vehicle. Also, the channel sounding can also be very helpful in tracking devices and so-called Find My devices, either in pet tracking, asset tracking, and any other device that needs to be tracked in real time. And also a very important key application is secure access control, where a user or any user or wearer of a tag can access secured areas in either residential or commercial buildings. Now, since we've covered the basics of Bluetooth 6, we're now looking at the newly introduced nRF54L15 chipset of Nordic. This Nordic's next level ultra low power SoC, which have been introduced a few months ago and will be launched officially in the next few weeks. So the chip itself, or let's say the four cornerstones of the nRF54L15, it comes with an increased processing performance with around double the processing power in comparison to the nRF52 SoC, and while not sacrificing the low power consumption or having in general very low power consumption while maintaining an increased processing performance. It comes also with the latest or with a high security features. It's PSA 3 level certified, has many security features as trust zone, security key injection, and makes this SoC one of the most secured chipsets in Nordic's portfolio. And when it comes to the process nodes, so with a 22 nanometer process node, it is one of the most modern, uses one of the most modern process nodes for modern IoT. So thanks to this 22 nanometers, the cost, the chipset received a high cost down and also integrates the processing power into a very small dimension package. And last but not least, the chipset itself comes with an improved radio robustness, range, and efficiency. When we're looking at the technical specification of the nRF54L15, so as said earlier, it's come with high processing power, which is powered by 128 megahertz ARM Cortex M33 IP. The memory is, again, compared to the nRF54840, higher, so it includes a 1.5 megabyte non-volatile memory and 256 kilobyte of RAM, which makes even extensive and sophisticated applications possible. And it is equipped with a high-performance radio of up to 8 dBm output power and minus 91 dBm receiver power when using 1 megabit per second Bluetooth Low Energy. The SoC itself is equipped with multi-protocol radio, so on top of the Bluetooth Low Energy radio, it comes also with the 802.15.4 radio, which makes Zigbee, Thread, and Meta applications in parallel possible to the Bluetooth Low Energy. The SoC itself comes also with new peripherals. So for example, a global RTC, which enhances also or lowers the power consumption in deep sleep mode. It comes equipped with even more precise 4-bit analog to digital converter. And again, as with the nRF52 series, the peripherals are software defined, so you can assign any pin that you like dedicated function. And this is powered by a RISC-4 coprocessor. As mentioned before, this is one of the most secure chipsets or most secure chipset in the Nordic portfolio. It's designed for PSA certified level 3, IoT security standard. It makes trust zone isolation possible. It protects against side channels and has tamper detection included. And the future Bluetooth 6 features will be supported by this SoC. And now we're coming to the Panasonic module PAN B511, our next generation BLE module, which is powered by the before mentioned nRF54L15 SoC. Before we're coming to the module itself, if you're not familiar with the wireless modules from Panasonic, I would like to say a few sentences about the wireless modules in general from Panasonic. So Panasonic, as you may know, is a Japanese company with one of the market leader in electronic components, but the wireless modules have a special place in Panasonic portfolio. So the modules are developed in Germany, in the northern part of Germany, in Lüneburg, close to Hamburg, and are being produced in Panasonic own factory in Slovakia, in Stara Lubovna. On top of that, there is also a second Panasonic-owned factory in Trstana, which can take over the production of the Panasonic wireless modules in the case of emergency. And we, from the sales and marketing headquarters in Ottobrunn, are taking care of commercial and technical topics from our customers. So with Panasonic, you have a local point of contact with a local production and with direct shipment within a few days. Now, our next generation Bluetooth 6 module is the PAN B511, powered by the nRF54L15. It includes all of the features of the chipset itself. It has the 1.5 megabyte flash integrated. It has the powerful ARM Cortex M33 integrated with micro 128 megahertz, and uses also or has an integrated chip antenna on board, which makes your hardware integration as easy as possible, makes your end certification as easy as possible, and has been fine-tuned to use, let's say, the output power, the whole output power range of 1 dBm of the chipset itself. The newest introduction, or let's say the innovation for our Bluetooth 6 module, PAN B511, is it comes with a hybrid footprint layout. This means it uses a dedicated number of pins on the edge of the module in the form of castellated holes, and another pinning is routed to the bottom pad of the module itself, so it leaves you the total flexibility either to use only the castellated holes or use all of the 32 GPIOs which are routed to the bottom pad of the bottom pads of the module. And when we're looking at the size of the module, so even if we are using castellated holes with a dimension of 10.35 times 9.8, this is one of the smallest module, or let's say one of the smallest Bluetooth module in Panasonic portfolio, and also one of the smallest nRF54L15 based module on the market right now. The module itself comes in different spec variants, which we will cover in the next few slides. So it comes with 3 different assembly options, and this module is also compatible with our upcoming meta service PAN Max, which we will also cover later on. When it comes to planned certifications, on top of the standard certification Europe, UK, USA, and Canada, we will also include Japanese certification, which is important for medical applications. But here the message is, even if you need more certifications, we are open to add more certifications. If you have any requests on that, please come back to us and we can discuss it. Now, when we're using it, Castellated tools, so there comes always the question, so yeah, why should I actually use only the Castellated tools? Why shouldn't I use also the LGA bottom pads? Of course, this is up to you, but there are also some benefits of using only Castellated holes. It's, for example, hand soldering is possible. So during the prototyping phase, instead of producing the prototypes in a lengthy process, for example, there is no need for reflow soldering. The module itself can be soldered on the carrier PCB by hand, and very generic functions, Bluetooth functions, can be tested right away. Also, by using only Castellated holes, double layer designs are now also possible. So since all of the pins or paths are routed on the top layer of the PCB, this eliminates the need for costly multi-layer boards. So instead of going with 4, 6, or 8 layers, you can basically route all of your path on the top layer and thus save BOM costs when using only 2-layer PCBs. And of course, if you want also to save money in the production, with our Castellated holes, optical outgoing inspection is possible. So in production, the expensive X-ray machines for solder joint checks are no longer necessary, and cheaper optical processes can be implemented, which makes the optical inspection cost down in contrast to the X-ray machines. As mentioned, we are planning 3 variants of the PAN B511, the economy, standard, and premium. The basic difference between them is that they come with different assembly options. So for example, the economy version, which targets price-sensitive projects, comes only equipped with the chip antenna and does not have any additional components like the local crystal or flash memory included. So, for example, the applications in smart lighting, white goods, or industrial sensors, which are anyway mains powered and don't need low power consumption, you can go with a very cost-effective module with the PAN B511-1C economy version. If you, on the other hand, are developing a battery-powered product, there you can use the PAN B511-1C standard edition. This comes equipped with a slow clock crystal, which is beneficial when using your product in a deep sleep mode with long connection intervals. This is especially useful for medical devices, wearables, or any energy management devices, for example, like smart thermostats. And if you want or have a product that has sophisticated functions implemented, like, for example, machine learning, or if you want to have a meta product, which by the specification dictates your product to be updatable, then you can also choose the premium version, which has this local crystal and also additional flash memory of 4 MB included. The good thing about this is that all of the 3 shown variants are pin compatible, so you can start with one version and then upgrade by, if needed, also to a standard or premium version, or even downgrade if needed. When comparing, if you're familiar with the PAN 7080, our focus product, which is based on the nRF54L15 chip, the PAN B511, in contrast, comes with many benefits. So for example, the core, as mentioned earlier, comes with a more powerful M33 Cortex, which is around 20% more processing power. It has more flash memory integrated, 1.5 megabyte in contrast to 1 megabyte. It has even now more space for more functions, and comes also equipped in terms of security with a PSA level of 3, and in contrast to the PSA level of 1 of the PAN 7080. This makes the PAN B511-1 the module of choice for the stringent cybersecurity requirements which are coming next year, which needs to be implemented next year. And this is the module of choice. And also looking at the size, yeah, as already said, the size is of about 1 cent coin. And in comparison to the PAN 7080, this is a size reduction of about 15 to 20%. In general, this makes the PAN B511-1 a cost-effective, small-size module with great performance. Now, when you want to use, if you're interested in the PAN B511-1C, the first engineering samples will be available end of this year, approximately in November, December, and the first evaluation boards will be available beginning of next year. If you have any interest, please contact your Panasonic sales representative or drop a mail in our wireless connectivity email inbox. The mass production for now is scheduled mid of next year. Now, when we're coming to the tools and that you need for evaluation and development, so in terms of hardware, you can rely on our evaluation board, which eliminates the need for any designing of a PCB. You can basically test all of the functions of the module with our upcoming PAN B511-1 evaluation board. This comes equipped with, for example, user LEDs and user buttons for any testing of input and output functions. It comes already equipped with a J-Link onboard debugger, which makes the flashing of the module possible, and also debugging making the debugging of your application possible. Also, if you're designing a low-powered product, you can measure the current on the pins. You have all the access to all GPIOs. It comes equipped with an Arduino Uno R3 header if you want to use any third-party shields in an Arduino form factor or even in a Micro E form factor. And the module itself is placed on board on the evaluation board, and you can also test an external antenna with the UFL connector, or you have also an NFC antenna connector on board to test any NFC functions. We have the goal to make the hardware design as easy as possible. Our goal is that every customer can design our modules without any expertise in RF design. So this is why we're including design recommendations in our product specifications. If you want to have the best possible antenna output power, it's highly suggested to follow the design recommendations as closely as possible. So in the design recommendations, there is, for example, the placement of the module included, information on the needed ground area, in order to the antenna to perform optimally. You need a sufficient ground area. You also need to take the cutout area into regard. The pinout informations are included, and basically, all suggestion where to place the module. The best suggestion is to put it as far as away from surrounding high-frequency components as possible, so that the high-frequency components do not impede the radio wave propagation of the module. When it comes to software development, these software tools for development that you need is the nRF Connect SDK, which is SDK based on the open source Zephyr projects. It's an RTOS-based SDK, which is the standard SDK for Nordic-based modules. Since it's a threaded-based programming, this makes it ideal for multi-protocol applications. And since the Zephyr project is open source and with the strong support from the dev zone from Nordic, you can be sure to have the strong support that you need when developing your software functions. Also included is always a qualified Bluetooth LE stack, and of course the upcoming Bluetooth 6 features will be also supported. And in the SDK itself, there are many samples, libraries, and modules that you can use in order to start your projects. So in detail, what you need as a toolchain for software, first as an editor, we and Nordic also suggesting to use the VS Code as your editor. And with this editor, there is also an extension available, which is the nRF Connect for VS Code. This extension includes the nRF Connect SDK and makes it possible to develop, build, and debug your projects. Or what tools included in the nRF Connect SDK, nRF Connect for VS Code extension is repository manager, project configuration utility like the configs, and also device trees, terminal for serial debugging, toolchain manager. Many more features are integrated. They come as a package ready to use with the extension. And we will include the PAN B511 in the nRF Connect SDK as a target device, the same way as we have did with the previous Panasonic modules, for example, PAN 7070, PAN 7070. All of those modules are coming with a device tree embedded in the Zephyr project. And while we are, or let's say, the benefit of using already pre-configured device tree, you can use existing sample codes and run the sample code on the hardware, on the existing hardware of the PAN B511-1 evaluation board, either without or just a few modifications. So in order to start a project in VS Code, you just need to select any existing sample from the nRF Connect SDK, select the PAN B511 EVB as a target device, either do some modifications or leave it as it is, flash the board with the application, and done. And you can basically use this, let's say, frame as a starting point for your software development. All of the technical documentation, especially on the software development, is or will be publicly available on our Wireless Connectivity Development Hub. There you can get all the technical information on evaluation and development. So for example, user manuals for PAN B511-1 EVB, schematics of the evaluation board as reference design, a getting started guide for toolchain setup, and of course, samples and demos quick start guide. I would highly suggest that you bookmark this link as soon as possible. Now, coming to our PAN Max meta service, our single window meta enablement service. In the context of this webinar, we will not dive too deep into meta, why you need to use it, and I highly suggest to refer to Nordic's brilliant webinars or even look onto our existing documentation on our Panasonic Industry webpage. In this case, we want to focus on what you need to do in order to launch a Meta product. So first of all, of course, you need to become a CSA member to get access to the Meta technology itself. Then, of course, you need the hardware, which you can get with the Panasonic wireless modules. You need to use basically a multi-protocol certified radio hardware that is capable of running Thread, Bluetooth, and on top of it, Meta. And then you need to follow the Meta specification when you're designing your own device model or your device model. Basically, you can either use already pre-configured design models in the nRF Connect SDK or use the nRF Connect SDK template and then follow the Meta specification in order to generate a device model or develop a device model that is following the Meta specification. A very important topic is device security. So in order to launch a Meta product, you need to set up a CSA compliant PKI infrastructure for Meta in your production unit. And this is, let's say, one of the biggest pain points of the current Meta launch process. And this is something that the PAN Max service is taking care of. Of course, with the, let's say, compliant Meta product, you will then, of course, need to certify your product. And this you can do by CSA authorized test service providers. Or in the end, if you already have an existing ecosystem, you can also design a so-called bridge device to bring also your ecosystem into the Meta ecosystem. So when we're looking at the green highlighted topics, wireless modules, device security, and Meta certification testing, this you can get from Panasonic in the form of the PAN Max single window multi-tier service for Meta. This will be supported on the upcoming PAN B511 module. So this comes in 3 different tiers. The, let's say, easiest tier is the PAN Max Silver. This is, let's say, the basis or the basic tier. There you get the hardware with the security key, the PAI certificate, and also the DAC injected into the module, and then you just need to flash the application on top of it. If you, on the other hand, want also to save time in the production, maybe some flashing time of 20 seconds, then you can also go with the PAN Max Gold tier. With this tier, we are creating a customized part number for your project or for your device. And with this service, we are already flashing your application and the certification declaration into the module and sending this out ready to be assembled then in your production. No flashing is needed anymore on your side. And if you want to update this process even more, there is a PAN Max Diamond tier. Why, if you choose a Panasonic CSA approved partner from our side, then you can also save money in the Meta certification, since our approved partner knows our hardware and all of the radio certification or radio related certifications will be obsolete, and that way you're also saving money in the Meta and certification. Now, we as Panasonic don't see ourselves only as a pure module supplier. We want to support you as early as possible in the design phase. That way, any customer, unrelated to any project quantity, can have their design reviewed by Panasonic. So what does this mean? You send us your layout data, your schematic data, and we are checking if everything is electrically correctly connected. We review also the PCB layout, give any suggestion on the placement of the module, and this in general then needs 1 or 2 days, and you will get an extensive review from our engineering team. If you want to have want to be even more sure how your product performs in the end, or how the module itself performs, you can also send to us your prototypes, your evaluation EVT samples, and we are measuring out the output power of your product. So the measurements itself in our laboratory includes either return loss measurements, voltage standing wave ratio measurements. We can measure also the radiation patterns, and also peak gain can also be measured with our service. This in the end needs, of course, a little bit longer time. Around 3 weeks need to be planned beforehand. Now, what have we learned today from the webinar? So if you have the need or see need and want to start with the latest and greatest Bluetooth specification 6, if you need precise ranging and improvements on the performance and the expanded feature sets with Bluetooth 6, you can choose the PAN B511 as our next generation Bluetooth module. It comes with a hybrid footprint design, LJ Castellated holes, small dimensions saves space on your PCB, and comes also equipped with extended certification or even more certification if you need. If you want to develop meta products and easily and rapidly launch them, the PAN B511 is the module of your choice. It is compatible with our upcoming PAN Max meta service. All of our modules makes the development and prototyping as easy as possible with our evaluation boards, with our freely and easily and comprehensive documentation on our wireless connectivity development hub, and the strong support with our schematic review, antenna measurements, and even suggestions on any questions that you have. Panasonic can directly support you if there is need. And if you need a strong European supplier, so with the location in Europe, development and production in Europe, with fast delivery times in few weeks, support on short term, and if you putting emphasis on a high quality module, the reliability and assurance center in Lüneburg qualifies the module for production. All of the modules that are leaving our factory are 100% end-of-line tested, and this in the end leads to still today a 0 ppm failure rate. If you value these propositions, then Panasonic is your supplier of choice. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm looking forward to your questions now.
Okay, many thanks, Tomislav, for your presentation. We indeed have some questions already. Let's start with the first one. One moment. Okay, if you want more certifications, will you add more certifications for the B511 module?
Yeah, so basically we are right now starting first with the standard regions, UK, Europe, and Canada, USA, and also Japan. But again, here the message is, if you have the need for more certification, this can be done within few weeks. If more certifications are needed, the best way is to contact your local Panasonic representative, or the better way is, of course, to contact Rutronik FAE or a Rutronik salesperson, and they will then forward us your request, and we will have a look into that matter.
Okay, thank you. Will there be also an external antenna B511 module?
Yes, so in this webinar, we have concentrated only on the PAN B511-1C, which comes with an integrated chip antenna, but we have also the PAN B511-1B on our roadmap, not on our official roadmap, but still the design for the 1B is ready. It can be launched after the 1C, but for now we are concentrating, or let's say want to launch the integrated chip antenna version as fast as possible.
Okay. When will the PAN Max service be available?
So the PAN Max service will be available when also the PAN B511-1C module will be available, which is mid of next year. So this will collide, or let's say will be at the same time as the PAN B511.
Okay. And are your modules going to be Meta certified?
So the module itself will not be Meta certified. So the, let's say, effort to make a Meta certified product is still on customer side, but with the PAN Max service itself, the security key injection is already done. The PKI infrastructure does not need to be implemented by customer side. This comes from our side, and we will also support the customer in the certification of their own Meta product.
Okay. Thank you, Tomislav. I don't see any further questions for the moment. Then I quickly show you, as a last point of this webinar, some more information. Okay. So if you're looking for more information, for example, on our webinar series, you can check out our rutronik.com website. If you're looking for concrete product information, if you're looking for samples, you can also have a look on our online shop, rutronik24.com. Rutronik-tech.com is our website where you can find technical articles about different technologies, about new products that are coming up. And if you want to stay up to date, you can also register for our newsletter on our homepage, and we are also active on social media. So as promised, here are my contact information. Kerstin.nasa@rutronik.com, and here's also my phone number. If you have any questions later on, don't hesitate. You can always contact me or my colleagues via our contact form on our homepage. And as a last point, I have some more information about our upcoming webinars this week. So tomorrow we have our supplier partner Minu with us. They are talking about their BLE modules on the nRF54 series. On Wednesday, Nordic Semiconductor will talk about ultra-low power solutions with modern Bluetooth low energy SoCs and software. And in the afternoon on Wednesday, we have Kyocera AVX with us. They are talking about the antenna solutions for Bluetooth and also about indoor positioning with BLE. On Thursday, we have Inside SIP with us. Their topic is upgrading your BLE capability, state-of-the-art BLE modules in the same family footprint. And on Friday, we have the last webinar of our Rutronik Connects webinar series with Infineon. They are introducing us their BLE chipset and module products and solutions overview. Okay, so that is all from our side. If you have questions, as mentioned, don't hesitate to contact us. And yeah, Tomislav, many thanks to you again for your presentation and your information.
Thank you, Kerstin.
And yeah, thanks for your participation and have a nice day.